Guys, Starry Night, fun map. What would you say? You said it was a love baby between Cloud Kingdom and Daybreak?
No. Daybreak and Crevasse.
Daybreak and Crevasse.
Yeah.
It's a fun map, man. So many paths everywhere. Really quickly, in the very far top left corner, it's going to be Theory. For your player, I believe this map is made by TPW. Felix is actually the author of the map. Really cool guy. He's the one that actually got me into the map cave.
Yeah.
To help out with, or to help me figure out what maps we need to get for our map pulls in the future. Met a whole bunch of guys. Ragu, one of them. He is the meanest German player in the world. He's so mean to me, man. Always talking crap to me. And,
the meanest German player.
He's so mean, man. And I figured out why, because he's German. Like, Germans are just naturally mean.
I'm 50% German. Watch yourself.
You are mean, man.
This is true.
You're mean.
I will admit.
No, I'm just kidding. Germans aren't mean. Only in World War II.
I'm cruel with 2 O's.
Well, so bottom right corner, guys. jookto is your blue Zerg player. Checking out the map really quick. It was on Reddit for a little bit, actually, in the last couple of months. So people are actually a little bit more aware of it compared to a majority of our maps.
One of the top-rated ones, actually, on SC2Melee.net. Check it out. It's a good website.
I really
Science
like
is a good energy drink.
It is a good energy drink. We actually just chugged the Science energy drink, guys. To wake us up because we were very tired. So if I talk faster than I normally do,
I'm not used to casting this early, man. It's a little bit it's, you know, I actually I think I would like it way more if we did it every day instead of the end of a day.
Yeah.
Ideally, but you know, it kind of throws off your rhythm when you're used to casting at the end of the day, and then all of a sudden you come into work an hour early to start casting.
Yeah, because my second wind is when we normally cast. That's when I get burst of energy halfway through the day.
You've kind of adjusted your circadian rhythm.
I've had lunch and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, and so like I come in with breakfast with pickles on it, and that's it.
You have like lunch 3 hours before, so you go into that catabolic state. Is that right? Catabolic? You break it down.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember. I like refreshing things in my mind because then you actually remember them, as opposed to, you know, if you never even try to practice your Spanish, you will completely forget it. But if you talk with the cleaning lady who speaks Spanish every day, then, well, your Spanish will actually improve over time very slightly.
She's really nice. I like her. I don't know her name, though.
Carolina.
Carolina, that's her name. That's our cleaning lady. She's super nice, guys.
She is really nice.
Okay, so this map has a lot of pathings as well for extra thirds where you want to go at. You have a third down here in the bottom right corner. You have a third in the front of you as well. But the great feature of this map is the maneuverability, I really feel like. You have so many paths to move your army around. There's the Zonagas, of course. There's 2 of them. But you can still circumvent the whole Zonagas if you want to go for a really long push and come down to the side. There's so many paths if you look on the mini-map for you to choose which route you want to go into attacking your opponent.
Which is why we call this map Daybreak is the father.
Yeah. Crevasse is the mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's clad in white.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crevasse is a white map. What?
That's true. Liam's going to be chasing the probe around probe. Didn't get the full scout off into the main. He did see everything here. jookto has not followed up into a gas quite yet, so potentially we'll be getting a fast third, and it does look like it heading to the top right corner. This third, I feel like it's a little on the farther side. I think it's like 4 creep tumors before we even get down to this area. So there's a lot of... Actually, I think a Void Ray push would be pretty strong on this map.
Yeah.
To kill off the third. You know, back in the day, we used to have Void Rays that killed off thirds, especially on... oh gosh, what was that map? Shakura's? It used to be so strong. It's because players...
I still remember MC versus Hydra using the Void Ray to get vision on the high ground. I'm really actually... I have a very flexible vernacular.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way and especially when you get into like the linguistics of it, man, like I'll say either and I'll say either.
Yeah.
You know? But Yaz Tastosis, if you say either, I think I'm quoting them right that they said you're actually just a douche.
Oh.
I think they said that on stream, which I was kind of surprised about.
That's weird. Well, in Missouri we say pecan, and most people say pecan.
Pecan?
Yeah.
Pecan. Pecan. Yeah.
I have a lot of weird things. Oh my gosh, look at this. And this is an opportunity available to you. Look at this fourth. Look at this fourth. All you do is wall it in, and you have a free fourth, or a free extended third base. Scouting seems to be so important for our players on this map if this actually becomes a bit of a strategy. It's the same thing up here in the top right corner. Easy base to grab. Easy base to wall off of, especially against Zerg, because they most likely won't get any air tech until later.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, and you know, to be honest with you, I looked at this and I never actually thought about hidden bases, but hidden bases could be a big thing here. And I know players like Vortex, who love to hide spires and high tech in certain areas. This would be a good location to do it. Overlord, spire underneath it. It's going to be something that people are going to be aware of if they play this map.
That's a really, really good point. I mean, it's so incredibly well defended, but extremely far away at the same time.
Yeah. I like it.
I like the theories going for it.
I like it too. In game 5 too, because that's scouted, you potentially lose. You're going to lose off on a lot of resources, potentially even this gateway here if you don't get it reinforced in time.
In the same respect, though, jookto would have to send forces very much out of the way to go and deal with that. And with the multiple attack routes available on this map, Theory could very easily mount a counterattack and take out something much more important to jookto, such as, you know, his main base or something.
I love it. I love it, man.
Absolutely love it as well.
Deciding
I'm in love with Theory, man.
Yeah, I love you, Theory.
One of my new, I'm gonna have to look into this guy a bit more.
Looking into jookto over here.
In case you don't know, Theory is actually is which FXO? Because this is what we were talking about earlier.
I feel like he's a European.
With Theory's asking.
FXOU.
Yeah.
I believe so. I may be completely wrong. I'm really bad with the EU scene. That's why I'm kind of just throwing him in that area because I kind of know NA a little bit more and Korean a little bit more than I do the EU scene. So I'm going to say he's EU. I might be completely wrong.
I haven't seen him in the EU tournaments, actually, so he may actually be on the KR roster. We just haven't seen him.
He's on FXO in general. We'll say that. We'll go with the safe route. Well, the third is, the third base is now well defended. He's got a couple pylons here, a couple of gateways ready to go. He's going to start mining from it as well. And as time progresses, and our Zerg player doesn't realize it, they could potentially get more deadly for him. He's going to start booming in a commie in about a couple more minutes. And that's why scouting is so darn important there. Fourth assimilator has been put up for Theory as well and needs to start mining it. Increased spread is on the way for our player. NA, he is on NA. Thank you so much, Adrian. So Theory is on NA.
Yeah, because that's actually the only one we haven't had participate in the IPTL so far, which is very, very helpful, yeah. Because EU's right now, we just casted them the other day, in fact. And FXO, of course, we've seen quite a bit of. So he's doing really, really well right now, man. Yeah. I'm severely impressed with Theory's gameplay.
I agree, and I'm glad that he studied the maps up too, and he started using features that help him. That's the best thing about maps. Like, you can go for some crazy all-ins that we saw jookto do a couple times, but we don't learn anything about the map, and he's been really showing, hey, this map can be really good for these reasons. Thank you, Theory. We love you, and you are an FXO NA, and we know everything. We're the best commentators ever. We don't make mistakes. Like saying he's on EU. And chat probably went crazy. All right, so aggression is now on the way here for jookto. A lot of roaches, a lot of lings on the way. Falling up into a infestation pit at the same time. Going to be on lair tech for a little bit, it looks like, and also moving into a 5th gas. So now we're getting to the point where players are going to start grabbing the middle of the map, and this is the part where Theory really starts to boom in economy. He's even adding more gateways as well down here at the 3rd. And I don't know if jookto actually went for a scout yet. Did he go on a scout? Yeah, he scouted the majority of the main. He didn't see all these gateways in the back right, but he feels like there isn't this much economy available.
Exactly what I was about to say. I mean, he's got this Zergling camped out at the 3rd right now, and he's just like, I am, and this other one as well. He's like, you don't have a 3rd base.
I defend this, I win. That's what he's thinking. He thinks very similar to a Bode that just happened actually in the last match.
But in reality, jookto needs to get on a 4th base ASAP because he is falling further and further behind the longer this game goes on. If we take a look at the income of both these players right now, 62 workers to 60. Our Protoss player currently in the lead. I'm quite surprised he's pushing out, to be completely honest, Tim, because he is running away with this game right now. And if he loses this army in a terrible engagement, he could quickly find himself on the back foot in this game, whereas right now, time is on his side.
Well, he's wanting to push out before the creep gets a little bit too crazy against his opponent, and all these gateways did just finish up, so he's about to have a huge, massive warp in available. So I agree. I think the push could have been a little bit later, but now we're going to start seeing the real truth, the real power behind this push that is happening for Theory as he starts to walk out on the creep. These units are going to walk in, and jookto's going to be like, wait, you've been cutting probes that have this much of an army off of 2 bases.
But it's too late.
Yeah,
12 minutes.
Here we go. Engagement's going to happen. Need a couple of zealots here. This time Theory playing a little bit more careful with his force fields. I like that, because before he was being really aggressive with them.
Yep. But now there are infestors on the field. I really don't want to see Theory overextend himself here. He has this game in the bag if he doesn't lose this army.
Gotta careful with the fungals. Everything is grouped up. Here we go. jookto wants to catch them as they pop out. Nice force fields to go ahead and slow them down. He tagged Zealot on there, man. Go ahead and get rid of it. Get rid of those rocks. And behind all this, we've had nothing but units being popped out for jookto. If he pulls back, actually, and moves into a 4th base, that would be like the best play ever.
Because he's forced a ton of units here out of jookto, slowed down jookto's economy. jookto is still sitting at 60 probes. Theory at 63. That will allow him to tech up as well. He can defend with just these gateway units.
He's already moved into a robo too, so getting into a robotics phase at the same time, so he's starting to move into Colossus tech. He gets on 4 bases with Colossus.
He needs it fast, though.
Yeah,
he needs it really fast. Ling, Roach, and Fester can deal even with Colossus-based armies. That was a lot of force fields.
He missed one, unfortunately.
And I don't see a single blood splatter.
Yeah. That's unfortunate for him.
Oof.
But hey, he has the economy to back it up. I'll just make more sentries.
Theory should start working on a 4th base at this time.
Yeah. That's what I was mentioning earlier, too. At this point, he's really just trying to defend against anything that jookto comes his way.
Yeah, let's be honest. I mean, jookto's still on 3 bases as well, so I guess not. Falling back right now. He is not capturing units with these force fields, man. Theory's force fields are not working out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. Whenever you try to land a force field, a majority will land 1, and wants to see the link splitting a certain area, that's when you go bam, bam, land 2 more, and you catch a good pull of them. And he's trying to do a huge concave around, and unfortunately, links are just a little bit too fast for that. Guardian Shield has been popped, and that was meant to be a whole position, I believe. It happens. Mistakes happen. But look how many units he has, though, at 14 minutes. So much. And at this point, now jookto's thinking, okay, I haven't stuck on 3 bases.
And so he needs, this is the time in the game when you check to see how you could lose, and you run a Zergling around to the corners of the map. This is the point where jookto should think to do this, and I'm waiting for that to happen because it really is. This is the time when you do this. You may not search these bases in the beginning. It's, you know, you should, but this is a point where you definitely do because you need to check the ways you lose here as you are up significantly ahead of your opponent from jookto's position. From
what he thinks he is. Yeah,
yes.
He thinks I'm really far ahead. All I have to do is just sit here, wait for him to make a mistake, push out, I get a huge surround, I reinforce and kill him as he pushes across the middle of the map.
jookto slowly taking his 4th right now. Theory does need to make a maneuver to get a 3rd. He has an incredibly large quantity of income coming in. 2 Colossus at a time on the way. But Theory could definitely still throw this game as, you know, he does not have a 4th base. He does, however, see the 4th of jookto going down with some Stalkers down here. So he knows he's got to take his own.
He's looking for a pylon now. That was actually that's going to be the tell here for jookto. He's coming down looking for any pylons because of those 3 Stalkers. They're like, how'd they get by? And there we go. Running straight up, and now he will find the base.
Oh, and suddenly the forces are converging. You see them all instantly turn around. Yep. But this is a position, actually, where what we were talking about earlier, Theory can move out across the map right now, go into the natural, go into the main of jookto. Instead, he's coming down to defend this. I don't know if this is the right decision, Tim. I would absolutely trade a satellite base for someone's main.
Well, if he does engage it, he needs to have units down here faster so he can come in from the right side and the left side. Unfortunately, the Protoss army is just too darn small. I think a counterattack, as you mentioned,
started moving out really late, too. He waited a long time before he moved out. Engagement is happening. We've got infested Terrans going down in the front. Stalkers, force fields are going to be pretty lackluster here once again, not getting too much there, but a blink forward with some very nice damage.
Oh,
the infestors are all caught in a burrow, and Theory is doing some heavy damage.
Theory moving forward. He blinks forward once again. The Fungal's trying to land, but there's just so many Stalkers, you can't fungal them all. Theory moving forward once again. This 4th is in trouble. Reinforcements are on the way. 19 roaches and a hefty amount of lings, but it looks like it won't even matter. 4th is killed off right away. Can he get up into this base really quickly? Checking into the upgrades really quick, guys. 2-1 on our roaches, and we currently have 2-1 for the Protoss player as well. A lot of Corruptors here, though. Can he blink back? There are no more infestors. He needs to attack these Corruptors.
Oh, I love the excuse me, the hallucinate on the Colossus here. Really, really nice maneuver. Will force the Overseers to be morphed in, but Theory is going to be attacking. Not enough time for the Overseers to morph. Blinking forward his Stalkers, getting in some additional damage. The Colossi in the back, getting in some good damage as well. The hallucinated Colossus do go down.
Oh, you see how he's microing it back to make the Cryptos jump on it, but the Overseer, unfortunately, there makes it a little bit harder there for jookto to go ahead and force into it. But there's just so many Stalkers. The Stalkers blink forward once again, and now just a really massive ground army available. The Colossus did a nice amount of damage before they did go down. Moving straight into the natural. There are Broodlords here, but only 2 of them. If he can get high ground advantage, there we go. He sees the Broodlords. He blinks straight on top of them. 2 of them will fall right away. Some Immortals are left still.
Tim, we need reinforcements for Theory. He has a ton of money right now, and if he can translate that money into units, he wins this game. I'm really afraid, though, that he's not bringing in units quickly enough.
He has no pylons anywhere to do so. He's got a Warp Prism, but again, he's not warping it in. Bring it up to the high ground. Get us 1 sentry.
Well, there are Corruptors with this army as well, so I want to actually commend that the Corruptors have not found the Warp Prism. So good job by Theory hiding this. This is absolutely important that he continues to warp in Stalkers here. He has finally run out of money.
All right, well, we're now on the main. Roach is being dealt with very quickly.
Is he getting ready to blink out of the base? He needs to keep pressure on right now. He lost that 3rd mining base. He's essentially not mining at this point. If we take a look at the natural expansion, That's the mining that's left in this game for Theory. He has no other bases. He cannot fall back from here. He has to keep on the pressure.
He wants to get some sentries in available so Roaches won't be able to get on his Stalkers. The patience is nice, but again, it needs to be a little bit more quicker. And it looks like there are some changelings at the third. It looks like there were some units there. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and come around to the top right and move straight into the third. There are some spine crawlers here. I feel like Theory is kind of wasting his time. Yeah,
he's really wasting his time.
Why didn't he just kill everything in the main? That's all he needed to do.
We saw this earlier as well with Crank, you know, in a similar situation that was a little more base racy, but Crank did not realize that he had the supply to overtake his opponent. Guys, here's the income tab right now. That's the JK. Theory's bringing in half the money of his opponent. Every minute that ticks by gets jookto further and further ahead. Theory just needs to attack right now.
He just doesn't have the killer instinct, man. He's a nice Protoss player. I don't usually run across those, especially when I'm playing. But behind all this, look at the Broodlords that popped out.
Yep.
Granted, there isn't very many
the spine crawlers, but they're on the spines, and he can't blink into that. Theory absolutely cannot.
He needs to get in there, man.
He can start moving. What Theory can do here, go to the natural expansion, wait for the Broodlords to try to cross over, then blink onto them.
All right, here we go. Stalker's moving forward. Going to use some blink micro to make sure they don't fall down. Oh, or not. Got to go ahead.
Now's his chance to blink onto the Broodlords as they're coming in from the top. We'll see if he goes for it.
He tried with about 6 of them there, unfortunately. Decided to run away very quickly. Spine crawlers have been dealt with now. What is the plan here for Theory? It feels like jookto's now in a position where he can start bullying him in certain situations. Blinking forward right away. Only half the Stalkers make it up, though.
Oh, this is pretty bad for Theory, but he throws down some force fields that are going to save the day ever so slightly.
Stalker's taking a lot of damage in the top left corner. Some do make it down to the bottom right corner. There we go. Blinking forward. He's going to go ahead and focus down the Broodlords. One does fall. A second dying as well. But there's so many Broodlings. The Stalkers are stuck against the wall. The Roach is getting in there as well. The Colossus trying to help with the damage on the low ground here. But really not getting that much area affected damage done.
Dude, this is incredibly impressive out of jookto right now because he had this game practically taken away from him by that hidden base that he had no idea about. A Zerg sitting on 3 bases against a Protoss with saturated 3 bases as well. And jookto had no idea, so he responded to everything incorrectly. This is extremely impressive out of jookto, and I agree with you, Tim. I think those 3 Stalkers may have cost Theory this game.
Well, the fungal lands right away. The Stalkers are being killed off at the same time. Roach is turning forward, and Theory is going to have to GG out of this game. He's out of resources. He lost his whole entire army. jookto coming back because Theory allowed the time. GG, well played. Theory, though, did impress us overall.
He did, and that was, of course, another map, Starry Night from TPW, that we had not yet had the opportunity to see. Overall, Theory decided to warp in those 3 Stalkers on the low ground, as you mentioned it. That got his opponent looking for a pylon. jookto then found the base, and then things fell apart. And notably, Theory took a very long time to actually decide to move out. When the Zerglings found it, grab your army right away and start walking out of your natural expansion. He sat around for a good 10 seconds.
It's just sad, man, because I know that position. You know you're ahead, and then you're a little bit too passive. You don't have that killer instinct. You're afraid that you might throw away the game, and essentially you are throwing away the game because you're not taking the opportunity to push forward. But hey, Theory, thanks for coming out to the tournament, man. It was really cool to see. You put a huge display on for the maps. Atlas as well, and one that I never played that much, actually, and I wasn't really looking into seeing, and you showed me kind of the light on that map. So thank you very much, guys. That was a cool map. That was Starry Night. We're going to be jumping into the next match, and we'll go ahead and jump in after a 2-minute commercial break.